San Francisco is one of the most instantly recognizable cities in the world. The iconic Golden Gate Bridge, the bustling streets of Chinatown, and the historic Alcatraz Island make it a magnet for tourists, filmmakers, and tech entrepreneurs alike. Over 20 million people visit every year to soak in its culture, history, and innovation. But beneath its vibrant surface, there's a looming threat, one that has shaped the city's past and could define its future. San Francisco sits on the Pacific Ring of Fire, one of the most seismically active regions on Earth. Scientists warn that the next big earthquake is not a matter of if, but when. So, how do you future-proof a city built on shaky ground? This is the story of America's bold plan to redesign San Francisco for survival. The decline of San Francisco. What went wrong? San Francisco was once the beating heart of innovation, culture, and economic prosperity, but in recent years, it has become a city struggling to maintain its former glory. The vibrant streets that once symbolized the American dream now paint a different picture, one of homelessness, rising crime, and economic uncertainty. But how did things get this bad? Rising homelessness, crime, and drug issues. One of the most visible crises in San Francisco is homelessness. The city has one of the highest homeless populations in the U.S., with over 7,000 people living on the streets on any given night. The crisis has been fueled by skyrocketing housing costs, job losses, and mental health struggles. Alongside this, crime rates have surged, particularly property crimes such as car break-ins, theft, and organized retail looting. Businesses in high-traffic areas, including Union Square, have faced repeated vandalism, forcing many to shut down. The city's drug epidemic, particularly the rise of fentanyl use, has only worsened the situation, turning entire neighborhoods into open-air drug markets. Economic struggles post-pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic dealt a massive blow to San Francisco's economy. Once a bustling business hub, the city saw office spaces empty out as companies shifted to remote work. This shift led to declining foot traffic, restaurant closures, and a shrinking tax base. With fewer commuters and tourists, the city's once thriving downtown district began to resemble a ghost town. At the same time, small businesses struggled to survive under strict regulations and rising costs. Many longtime establishments were forced to shut their doors permanently, leaving vacant storefronts as reminders of a crumbling economy. Declining population and businesses, leaving the city. For decades, San Francisco was a magnet for talent, attracting tech professionals, entrepreneurs, and creatives from around the world. But in recent years, that trend has reversed. High costs of living, crime concerns, and an unfriendly business environment have driven both residents and corporations away. Major companies, including Tesla, Oracle, and Hewlett-Packard, have relocated their headquarters to states like Texas and Florida, seeking lower taxes and a more business-friendly climate. At the same time, middle-class families and young professionals are choosing to leave in search of more affordable housing and a better quality of life. As the population declines, so does the city's ability to generate revenue from taxes, creating a vicious cycle. With fewer businesses, fewer jobs, and an increasing number of social issues, San Francisco finds itself at a crossroads. Either continue its downward spiral or embrace radical change. This is where the redesign comes in. But what exactly is being done to save San Francisco? Let's take a look at the bold plan to turn things around. The government's plan to revamp San Francisco. With San Francisco at a breaking point, public safety is also a priority, with increased funding for law enforcement and crime prevention measures. San Francisco has received additional support to combat organized retail theft, helping businesses stay open in the face of rising crime. State-approved measures are placing more police officers in high-crime areas like the Tenderloin and Market Street, responding to concerns over fentanyl-related deaths and rampant shoplifting. However, while these interventions provide financial and structural support, the real challenge lies in how effectively the city implements these resources. To combat economic decline, San Francisco officials are rolling out a mix of tax incentives, business relief programs, and streamlined housing policies. New legislation fast-tracks affordable housing projects by cutting bureaucratic red tape, and a new mandate requires that 25% of all new developments include low-income housing units to prevent displacement. Additionally, the city has expanded its Safe Sleeping Villages program, providing homeless encampments with sanitation, medical support, and job placement services. For businesses, the city is introducing tax breaks and waived fees to encourage small businesses to reopen. A $30 million downtown revitalization fund has been established to subsidize commercial rents in areas hardest hit by vacancies. Major tech firms have partnered with the city to promote hybrid work models, aiming to bring employees back to offices and revive foot traffic in commercial districts. Infrastructure development is another key focus. San Francisco is investing $2.5 billion in the Bay Area Rapid Transit (BART) system, improving reliability and safety. Smart traffic systems, AI-powered streetlights, and expanded bike lanes are being introduced to reduce congestion and make the city more pedestrian-friendly. To address the housing shortage, the city has rezoned key districts for high-density housing and is working with developers to convert empty office buildings into residential units. Experimental solutions like modular and 3D printed homes are also being explored to lower costs and speed up construction. San Francisco's redesign is ambitious, but its success depends on execution. The city's past efforts to address homelessness, crime, and economic challenges have often been hindered by bureaucracy, legal battles, and political gridlock. For these new plans to work, the government must deliver measurable results, not just promises. The next section explores the role of big tech in this transformation and how Silicon Valley is shaping the future of San Francisco. The role of big tech in the city's transformation. San Francisco has long been the epicenter of the tech revolution, home to industry giants like Google, Apple, and Salesforce. But in recent years, the relationship between the city and its tech sector has grown increasingly strained. As crime rises, homelessness worsens, and businesses flee, some of the most powerful tech leaders are stepping in, pushing for urban redesigns, investing in smart city initiatives, and even clashing with local government over policies affecting business growth. Could Silicon Valley be the key to saving San Francisco? Or is the battle between tech companies and city officials making things worse? Major tech firms and their billionaire leaders have expressed frustration with the city's decline, arguing that poor governance has led to its current state. Rather than waiting for politicians to act, some companies are taking matters into their own hands, advocating for bold redesigns and even directly funding infrastructure projects. Elon Musk has been one of the most vocal critics, calling out the city's crime rates and homelessness crisis while implementing stricter security at X's headquarters. Salesforce, one of the city's largest employers, is investing millions into revitalizing downtown, pushing for office-to-housing conversions, and helping create business improvement districts where security and cleanliness are privately managed. Meanwhile, Google is testing AI-powered urban planning models in San Francisco, using data to optimize traffic flow, public transportation, and pedestrian accessibility. As part of this urban redesign, Silicon Valley is integrating AI and data-driven solutions into city planning. AI-powered surveillance systems are being tested to monitor crime hotspots and predict criminal activity. Automated public services like chatbot-driven permit applications and smart traffic systems are being deployed to reduce congestion and improve efficiency. Even housing solutions are getting a tech-driven boost, with companies experimenting with 3D printed homes and blockchain-powered real estate transactions to cut costs and speed up development. Despite these innovations, the relationship between tech leaders and local government remains deeply contentious. Many tech CEOs, including Musk and venture capitalist David Sachs, are pushing for stricter crime policies, arguing that lenient laws have fueled lawlessness. City officials, however, prefer progressive criminal justice policies focused on rehabilitation rather than tough enforcement. This ideological clash extends beyond crime. Silicon Valley's push for zoning deregulation to enable high-density housing is often met with resistance from neighborhood groups and local politicians, stalling progress on much-needed development. The battle between tech and government raises a crucial question: who should be leading San Francisco's transformation? While Silicon Valley has the money and technology to rebuild the city, its profit-driven motives often conflict with the city's political and social priorities. San Francisco is now at a crossroads. Will it embrace AI-driven solutions, smart city infrastructure, and bold economic reforms? Or will political gridlock and regulatory roadblocks prevent the city from evolving? The answer will determine whether San Francisco becomes the next great urban success story, or a cautionary tale of missed opportunities, gentrification, and the cost of redesign. San Francisco's redesign aims to modernize the city, but it raises concerns about gentrification, rising housing costs, and corporate influence. While officials claim the changes will improve living conditions, many fear they will primarily benefit wealthy newcomers while displacing longtime residents. Historically working-class neighborhoods like the Mission District and Chinatown are losing their cultural identity as luxury developments push out local businesses. Housing prices, already among the highest in the U.S., are expected to climb even further, with many affordable housing initiatives failing to provide truly accessible options. The city's transformation is also being driven by private corporations and real estate developers, leading to fears that profit-driven planning will prioritize business interests over community welfare. Public spaces are increasingly privatized, and grassroots efforts to expand rent control face resistance from corporate-backed lobbying. While San Francisco needs revitalization, the challenge is ensuring that progress benefits everyone, not just the wealthy. If the city fails to strike this balance, it risks becoming a cautionary tale of gentrification rather than a model for inclusive urban renewal. Will this redesign actually save San Francisco? As billions flow into San Francisco's transformation, the big question remains: will this ambitious redesign truly fix the city's problems, or just push them into the shadows? Some see it as a necessary evolution, while others argue that deeper systemic issues, homelessness, inequality, and affordability, won't be solved by new infrastructure alone. Urban experts are divided. Optimists see it as a blueprint for revitalizing struggling cities, pointing to new housing initiatives, AI-driven infrastructure, and public safety reforms. Critics, however, argue that redevelopment often favors the wealthy, worsens income inequality, and erases the city's cultural identity. If new housing remains unaffordable and crime is simply pushed elsewhere, the redesign may only serve as a short-term fix. A key challenge is retaining San Francisco's middle class. The city's economy is split between a booming tech sector and a struggling working class. Without stronger policies on affordable housing and small business support, experts fear San Francisco will become even more exclusive. Additionally, tech-driven solutions like AI-powered infrastructure and privatized housing could prioritize efficiency and corporate profits over livability. The city's homelessness and crime problems won't disappear overnight. Critics warn that harsh policies might criminalize poverty rather than solve it. And without proper social safety nets, displaced communities will simply move elsewhere rather than get the help they need. Other U.S. cities are watching closely. If San Francisco succeeds, places like New York and Los Angeles may follow its lead, converting empty office spaces and investing in smart infrastructure. But if the redesign prioritizes tech and wealth over people, it could serve as a warning for cities undergoing similar transformations. San Francisco's success will depend on three key factors: whether affordable housing policies truly work, whether crime and homelessness solutions focus on real reform, and whether corporate interests are balanced with public needs. Will this be a model city of the future, or another cautionary tale of urban renewal gone wrong? Time will tell. Final verdict: a city reborn, or a lesson in failure? San Francisco's redesign is an ambitious attempt to redefine urban living, aiming to blend innovation, economic recovery, and modern infrastructure. If executed well, it could serve as a blueprint for other cities, proving that revitalization can balance progress with inclusivity. Transforming vacant offices into housing, implementing AI-driven infrastructure, and enhancing public safety could help the city regain its status as a thriving, livable metropolis. However, success depends on ensuring that these changes benefit all residents, not just the wealthy or corporate interests. On the other hand, if the redesign accelerates gentrification, displaces working-class communities, and merely pushes issues like homelessness and crime into the shadows, San Francisco may become a cautionary tale rather than a model for progress. The stakes extend beyond the city itself, as other urban centers closely watch its experiment in redevelopment. In the end, the future of San Francisco will not be shaped solely by developers and policymakers, but by the people who live there. Whether this transformation leads to renewal or deeper inequality remains an open question. What do you think? Is this redesign a bold step toward the future or a costly mistake? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.